Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to Inferno for our deciding map in the first of our semi-finals of Europe. It's GODSENT or Mouse. GODSENT took Nuke, Mouse took Mirage, but to be honest, it looked like it could have been a 2-0 to GODSENT. I cannot believe I'm saying this. It looked like it was gonna be GODSENT, but now we have the full reset, and mousesports are going to be really confident going into this one because Inferno, they've got the upper hand.
I think it definitely made them change their mind maybe a bit about trying to take it to Mirage this early than we could have, but still Inferno having being played as a third map, totally comfortable for mousesports. They're going to be happy to go here. This is a total uphill battle for GODSENT. Mirage a bit of an unknown quantity, but Inferno, we know mousesports are super solid.
Just to remind you of what happened last time on Inferno, mousesports won 16-9, and GODSENT had particular trouble on their T side.
Okay. May I ask you the score at the half?
Oh, the score at the half, yes.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I had out an incredible talent manager, Declan, actually printed out my notes for me. I really appreciate you, Declan. Okay, so it was 9-6 first half, so obviously Mouse on the T side first, and 7-3 in the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
9-6 T half for mousesports, and they still survived enough in the second. That makes things really interesting. I mean, let's be real, right? Like that second map, there was multiple times where GODSENT had their foot on the throat of mousesports, but like an elite Sambo fighter, they twisted that ankle, somehow stood back up, and then kicked dirt in their eyes because GODSENT, that's got to sting. You were this close. You're looking at me like you don't know what a Sambo fighter is.
You are correct. I have no idea what a Sambo is, and I've never seen you so violent.
Yeah, well, it's a martial art.
Okay.
It's a martial art. Specializes in feet.
Is it something your mum made up?
Feet, don't you?
She didn't want you to go to real martial arts, so she was just like, okay, Connor.
yeah.
Oh, you're about to make a whole bunch of people mad. Yeah, don't worry. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
No,
I encourage it.
Thank you so much for calling
What was
me
that
out.
you said about Finnish people again?
I apologize to, I said that you don't have a sense of humor and you were letting the Finnish people down. I am so sorry to anyone who is a Sambo fighter. I apologize. My idea of a good time is capoeira, and that probably tells you everything you need to know about me.
I mean, that's a great opinion. Great taste, Frankie.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right then, so if we were to completely reset our predictions again, because we all said Mouse 2-0, are we now saying Mouse 1-0 in this best of one that we've reset it to?
Yeah, it's like, no matter where it went, the veto is going to be hard past Nuke. Because again, Nuke is a map that, like, GODSENT have one more. You would actually maybe predict them versus Mouse, but then you'd think Mouse were going to get better, and they have a strong Nuke themselves. But at this point, of course, the odds are even lower. Surprised on Mirage, so we'll see what happens on Inferno, but still taking Mouse, of course.
Have you guys seen GODSENT on Inferno recently? Because I have to say I'm going into this one blind.
No, they play it a lot, but I don't think because they want to.
Connor?
I cast with him, so I have also seen it as infrequently.
That is true. I don't know. You might you might be a fan of the tractor. You might watch all of his matches in your spare time. So Sambo. So sorry. It's been quite the week, and literally that lovely talent manager Declan I just mentioned during the break, he literally poured me some monster into it, but because I'm
why are you hiding it from the people?
I'm not deliberately hiding it from the people. I just drink it in a cup because otherwise I drink it too fast.
You get a little excited.
I get too excited, and like, it's really important for me that I don't.
It's me on a tractor.
I don't want to say the facts too fast, and I don't want to keep going beyond the facts and then bleed into the casting. So
just got to do one of these.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about Chris J today. I love that every single time we see Chris J play in this tournament, more things gather on his tray. There's always some tea there.
Yeah.
There's always an empty glass that is tilting me so hard because he looks like the kid from Signs.
He's going to be on the next season of Hoarders, yeah.
As the event goes on, right? It's just like it's more and more stress. You see the snooze, you got the Snickers. It's all mounting. But Chris J performs.
I did ask him about those books as well. First time I got to interview him after we went into sort of all the COVID lockdown, and I was just like, this is incredible. Like, you've got the coolest background of any player because you've got all those books there. And he was like, I haven't read any of them.
Yeah, it's like he just made his way into Hogwarts and found a computer, basically.
His parents set him up. You see those ring binds up there. Chris doesn't do filing. Chris is the champion.
Yeah. Where is he?
Where is he? I want to see what his stats are on the previous maps, though, because we haven't necessarily spoken too much.
We looked at his, like, he's just a player who just knows his role so well. Like, even though he's not playing extremely well all the time, it feels like he's like a 20-kill hero, right? Like, most of the time in their big wins, he's getting about 20 kills, and that's because he's not playing like Farley, taking the same levels of risks. But it's funny because he has this, like, equivalent skill on his best day. He's super fast, hits those kinds of shots, and can be very explosive when he needs to be. But when he was in CT versus a lot of those A hits, he knew exactly what he needed to do and put himself in positions to win every single time. We saw him at the top of taking a risk, but that was the last point where we saw GODSENT smoke everything else out, flash, and try to get control, and he realized that's where I need to stand and fight. So that just speaks to his experience a lot, and we'll see that come through on Inferno as well, where at Banana or at the top of mid, he's really smart about where he finds his openings and just knows when to be aggressive and when not to.
We're in the 9th round right now. I'm kind of sad that we don't get to see it on screen. The last time I casted at a tournament for reals was a 9th round, which included the Immortal line. Oh, they're slashing each other.
And now you're a host.
And now I'm a host. I found my calling. And here is mousesports and GODSENT's calling. We're going into Inferno. Winner goes to the grand finals.
I think Chris J is a nice talking point as we jump into Inferno. When we had that winner's interview with Kerrigan yesterday, I asked about Chris J and what he thought about the return to form. He said that when Chris J's feeling the flow state, that is when he can just absolutely take over a server. And it was on Inferno yesterday where we saw that. So I think just on an individual level, I'm expecting more from Chris on Inferno particularly. Of course, time will tell. They've got to get that economy rolling. They've got to get the cash in their pockets and the ops in his hands. We'll see. We will see. It's GODSENT to Banana early on. We've got lots of utility primed and the dual Berettas. An immediate headshot and one thanks to the utility. Man advantage for mousesports as they just dive back to the coffin side. Chris going to get whittled down to 76, but GODSENT have nowhere else to go. For all they know, they've already lost mid-control to the CT side. Not the case. They will continue to fight forward. Kerrigan popping Zen's face. And now Stiko's going to extend here. Able to catch a kill to the back of the site. Chris J has to forfeit control of coffins. Stiko looking to give cover. Stiko looking to take over this server. All 3 CTs from mousesports inside a con. Now they start to wrap back around coffin. Emmy in the little pit. Chris J does have a kit. And he also had 2 teammates, but Stiko, as he's done, shaving these players off one by one, has it in the clutch, and Chris J's gonna stick this. He turns his back and gets denied. 4 kills for Stiko.
That's why the tractor emoji is in his name, because he is farming. 4 frags on the pistol round. A big win here for GODSENT, and every little bit matters when you're going to try to perform an upset like this.
Chris J thinking that with that kit, he could stick it. He turns his back, hides his head. But a few shots to the spine works out fine for Stiko. GODSENT winning pistol. We immediately get mousesports on a force.
Stiko it to him. Well, looking to not slow down. Tipping the scales over to 303 ADR. This map for me, although we're going to talk about Kerrigan, talk about Chris J a little bit, for me this map is mostly like the meat and potatoes of the kills. It's going to come down to what Frozen and Rops can do. Let's be serious. We saw Rops take over the game yesterday, and oh my god, B-Master Deagle laying it up again.
CZ takes the place. Kerrigan delivers a near second kill. 1 health left on Madden still, and Stiko, well, he's got everything he needs to close out this round, as he did in the previous.
6 players dead at mid. Flickdog comes in. 1-on-2 for Stiko. Can he bail them out in back-to-back T rounds?
Take a moment to appreciate the radar. Look at all of those X's. No O's on the top of mid. Stiko does not play the bomb plant. Instead, he takes the fight to Kerrigan. But arguably, Kerrigan did what he had to. Tagging him with that scout shot, dropping him to 27. The AK absolutely has the advantage, but it wouldn't take much for Frozen to push this over the line.
He has to go for a gimmick.
Stiko's going to play on the side of the smoke, looking with vision downwards for Frozen's initial peek. But as that smoke fades, he's not going to move a muscle. Stiko with back-to-back clutches. The Tractor Master plows these fields.
7 kills in 2 rounds. A 1v3 and a 1v2. He bails them out again.
Close one from mousesports. A fiery attempt with the force buy. I mean, Launders, what are we thinking about BMAS on the Deagle? Because that's not the first time this series he pulls that out.
He's nuts. He's just a great aimer. You know, I think like in terms of playing a position and stopping people, being a bouncer, that's what he does the best. It's the unbelievable focus when it comes to multi-fragging that makes him stand out from his competition. Not a good sign, though, for mousesports for these rounds to come so close, but they don't care that much. They'll take it. Surviving another. Still potential for an eco, about the same amount of value in guns. They're not clearing Kerrigan. Oh, okay. Farley, he's going to be aware. That's 3 down instantly. Bomb plant 2 ensue. CTs to rotate in. Stico will just get 1 for posterity here. They're going to be wrapping around. I can't believe how patient he's been in these moments, like reading the game perfectly, like holding for Frozen. We know he's there, but he does not turn for lane at all.
Not once.
Not once.
Didn't even check it.
He didn't know. There was no noise. There was no noise there from Frozen. He could have wrapped around.
BMAS going to fall empty-handed this time around. A very strong start for GODSENT. Keeping 5 players up, making a little bit of extra money on them Mac 10s. Stico still yet to die. And if he's going to hone in to this level,
then I'm going to make a YouTube video about him.
What are you going to name it?
Finally. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Think about it.
I need a tractor pun, yeah.
MP7 on Chris.
GODSENT gain traction. No, I don't know. All right. Yeah, it's a yeah, MP9 on Chris. Or sorry, MP7 on Chris. Buy up on everybody else. Fully. He's down to his last $300. So he gets the best gun that he can find. Heads over to the pawn shop. mousesports playing back. When they play back in the sites, they're throwing a lot of grenades here, only directed at car, almost never down deep banana. And GODSENT are waiting this out pretty well, actually. We saw Cloud9 get caught out a lot by this, but look, they're waiting behind the half ball and then looking for the re-aggression. And you can see mousesports are getting a bit nervous, wanting to fight.
Chris J's going to get closer and closer. We've got a Galil with 2 Mac 10s. Chris,
they read that.
Swapping guns.
Read it completely. They free fire him, basically.
Oh, and another player goes down for absolutely free. This is GODSENT off to a flying start. 3 players emerge from that smoke, so ready for the 2 members of mousesports. Chris never even had a damn chance.
That's the free one. So mousesports, those first 50 seconds or so, this one of their protocols at the top of banana. Now that we've seen them enough here on Inferno, we can see this. They're not always nading to the bottom. And when they don't, they go for the re-aggression. They're hoping to catch people, a honeypot trap at the top of B. But when no one's there, they wait out, and then they just recommit. No one's pushed A. It is easy entries.
Rob slips into the little pit. Will at least hold one. But he's lost his teammate now. Oh my god, it gets real dire. He dies. 3 kills for Madden, 4 rounds for GODSENT.
That is a perfect round, right? They get the exit kills. They find him in pit. They keep majority alive. They get the bomb down. They get the double entry on banana. They read the setup perfectly. It's a healthy, healthy situation here for GODSENT. Now, this is where, you know, we'll see what Kerrigan's brain does on this next round.
It's the opener. Looks away for a moment, though. It's actually going to cost Zeke. Of all the ways to get his first death, that's it.
I know, what a shame.
Restart the round, run it back.
Oh my god, they're like almost going to die. He hits 2 headshots. Oh my god, and Rops will get another one because of the damage that Chris J dealt. Another sketchy situation. BMAS trying to find out where the action is. Where's the party? He says, rotating back and forth through Speedway. Frozen, moving in. Oh, he might get caught off on the corner of the smoke. We'll see if he gets spotted. Madden. He's not looking to clear this just yet, so an opportunity for Frozen. But the door slams shut.
B-site's wide open. They could just go ahead and sprint into it, but they would be met by BMAS, who's Desert Eagle, may I say. Giving us a couple of highlight reel clips across the first 2 maps. Very patient moment here from GODSENT. I think they've realized the original error of their ways. Kind of sticking around versus those P2000s. Didn't seem like it would be much of a risk, but then suddenly the Deagles coupled with it, and they face the 3v2. So
happy?
BMAS gonna walk through the smoke, lines up the first one, but a quick trade from Zen would leave it on Rops. Oh, he's got an AK. No, he doesn't have the kit, so time is actually gonna be an issue. Wastes 0 seconds getting up into Banana.
This would have to be a monumental mess up here by GODSENT to let this one go.
Farley's low. Rops absolutely capable. Farley on the coffin. If Rops continues to extend, then he could actually put the corner of the wall of construction between him and Farley. He'll get the heads-up duel versus Zen. He just needs that headshot versus Zen, but Farley comes back and gives him the opening. However, there's just no time. Even with that second kill, there's just no time. He played it perfectly, but he doesn't have the tools he needs to win.
Yeah, they just go ahead and peek him. There's nothing else that he can do without a kit in that situation. Bomb goes off, Rops saves the AK and at least does some damage to a bustling economy here. GODSENT have lots of money to fall back on. Don't even know if they're going to get an op or not. And Rops and BMAS continue to do extremely worrying damage with just the pistols. Ops on Chris.
Let's see it.
First time this game.
Let's see what he's got. Will it be 3 relatively quiet maps from Chris J? We allocate their recent success to mousesports, bringing up the bottom of their skill ceiling.
Well, they went up quick. But this is the catch grenades, right? Like, as soon as this happens, mousesports are going to try to punish them here, and then they maybe go in for a re-aggression. We'll see. They have the op this time and an extra rotator. But they're starting to move up for that, yeah. So let's see how GODSENT read it from now on, from here on out. Similar situation, but the adjustment is the op. I think let's see how they read that late Molotov too, if they'll read it as a fake. Again, mousesports, they've just, dude, if GODSENT go B, they're actual 5 heads, man. Look at mousesports so confident that that extra Molotov is going to throw them off the scent.
Kerrigan now scrambling to get back into position. We see this execute from GODSENT at the 35-second mark. They do still leave Zen at the top of middle, so there is an evacuation plan if this goes poorly. But a Stico trade frag's going to mean commitment from GODSENT, or is it? They double back and the B site is completely clear. Zen finds BMAS.
They think there's still 1A. Zen could have punished the rotators even more heavily. 15 seconds, and you want to fight the cross if you're Rops here. This is a chance to potentially just get him into a very dire situation. Instead, he'll get punished through the wall.
That's it. They have to save these last 2 players. GODSENT out-rotating mousesports. And like you said, it could have been even worse. I mean, it looks bad. Rops comes over trying to clear all those corners. It's almost like Zen's initial position scared Rops into clearing more corners than he had to. And he dies not even challenging what was 4 players on site.
They are holding their nerve, man. This is such a sick play here from GODSENT.
But if we've learned anything on Mirage, is it is not until the end of the half that we can finally kind of give credence to GODSENT, because mousesports won 6 at the end of each half on Mirage to take it 16-13.
Yeah, this is where, again, the difference will be if GODSENT can grow with mousesports. But mousesports, they threw a new factor in. They tried to make it look different. Then they went for a hard read. I think the thing is, mousesports are the ones who need to be braver now. They need to be putting some more pressure on A if this is going to be the setup, or reading down and forcibly taking bottom banana control. They cannot just pretend they're taking the top of banana anymore, because that's not working.
The human highlight reel. Chris J's AWP is named Profound Aggression after a team he played for in 1.6, and also the name of a montage of his frags, and I'm personally assuming the name of one of the books in his background.
That he hasn't read. There is now, I love that we get the back-to-back rounds where mousesports can buy. So yeah, man, very, very impressive stuff so far. Let's see what mousesports do differently. If they're very uncomfortable with the idea of getting into Hall's control or pushing to the bottom of B, and where mousesports go with it if they want to do something similar.
Christian keeps $6 grand in his back pocket.
This is yeah, see, they just turn it up all the way. And they're trying to double up on Arch because Tease will explode up mid and wrap Arch in this situation. They actually triple up in this spot.
They actually flash around the top of middle. BMAS a little labored, but he gets there with one, loses 2 teammates, and Zen cuts them off mid. Maiden, well, smoke fades. Easy.
I like to play. mousesports, they again, they just want to push them, squeeze them into this arch wrap that everyone does versus 3B setups, but GODSENT don't fall for it. I guess they actually don't fully invest, so just want to walk back on that one a bit. They had a lot to work with, but it wasn't everything. But now they know B's open, they can avoid Chris like the plague. Let him rot in silence. 7-0.
This is a daunting task for mousesports. I mean, how many rounds is even enough?
It's not. It's almost like not even about that. It's about like they have to do that thing where they prove that they can adapt. So we have yet to see that answer.
We saw the attempt this time, though. You were right. Hyper aggression to the base of Banana, but the op will not be saved. Tons of money still on mousesports. The buys are incoming. But will it look the same as that last round?
I think in mousesports, they want to apply a similar strategy. So again, I'm not sure how they're going about Halls, but it feels like they're expecting a Halls lurker. Of course, if you knew Halls was open, you would just go and use that to your advantage. But it has been, and they haven't identified that.
Crack 'em open. GODSENT have had more opening kills on both maps,
Whoa.
leading 33-25 over 2 maps.
That's a ridiculous margin. That is a ridiculous margin. That's a nice one, Elliot. That's a talking point right there. So TAC is called, and again, there's a number of ways to approach this. They still have choices. Just surely they're not going to try the same thing they did before.
Extra AK in spawn.
Uh-oh. That ain't efficient.
Maybe Zen comes back and gets it for a retake. You never know.
It's like Emmy dropped an extra.
Gonna try to go for the boost on the half wall. Chris.
Oh, he gets
bottled in the face. Ooh, and he's not comfortable at all. You see the frustration immediately, and you understand why. Madden peeks wide, takes his head clean off. They tried to move bodies to the base of it last round. This time, it's just a matter of getting those eyes up. The Molotovs made them sweat.
Emmy takes some team damage. They throw the Molotov to the corner because they know that Frozen recovered the op. They're executing like it's versus an op. But look at this. There's still a player in Halls here. Seiko, he's been lurking, keeping their attention. Frozen will get 1 kill.
Comes around a bit early.
Once again, they leave their option open to go back. Opt
out.
No punishment.
A second kill from Frozen. Now Kerrigan's going to try to spray one on the cross. Zen barely alive at this point. Frozen, oh, he tries to get himself a 3rd kill. Kerrigan regains vision. Farley just on the side of it. Zen's head, easy for the taking. And Kerrigan applying this pressure to keep the T's cut off because Rops has found that flank. And this is how mousesports seemingly break onto the scoreboard unless Farley comes in big. Oh, and he dies out to Kerrigan. The flash goes high from Rops. mousesports, they've broken the curse, but have they completely lifted it?
Oh, it's really scary, that situation. Like, they try to implore a new option. It's unlucky that Chris got hit by that Molotov, but he shouldn't have stayed there. That was a mistake. He asked, Madden literally pre-fired that boost, assuming that he'd be up there, and Chris makes the mistake of thinking maybe they didn't hear it. Its problem is they don't want to give up that territory because then if they lose on that tactic, they don't have a fallback plan.
Right.
Things got sketchy from that point on. So I understand. But they give the op over to Frozen, and he gets 2 kills because the execute from GODSENT is just not good enough. They know an opera is still in the B site, but they don't really treat it like there is one once they turn the corner. If they had done a more proper execute, a frontside smoke, a molly to emo, a molly to quad on their way in, then they would have been in a better position. I don't remember how low they were on grenades, but that's where they messed up. Frozen was alone.
Even if there was a little bit better of maybe some positioning, we saw Farley and Zen kind of disjointed a bit, right? Zen, his head exposed to Kerrigan. Farley wasn't able to take as deep of a peek as he wanted because he was low health. But there was no contest over towards Coffin. He wanted that closer bomb plant, and it cost him. Can mousesports string together consecutive round wins?
Zen only Molotov.
Rops in the corner. Kerrigan draws the attention. 2 kills for Rops, and then Kerrigan comes right back up. Zen, he's going to throw down the utility. Kerrigan catching the player towards middle with a little bit of damage as Rops finds his third. Rops now down, and Farley trying to hone in on this corner, catching Kerrigan with an arm exposed, but he misses his shot, and Kerrigan's not going to let him escape. Stiko shut down as he comes out from balcony. He is still 13-4, but not on the scoreboard in these last couple of rounds. Big moment between Rops and Kerrigan, drawing the attention away from the corner so young Rops could go big.
Playing off each other like a tether ball. It was just well handled. There was a missing set of grenades. They didn't clear out Cubby at all. Didn't even let it get into their mind. Got 2 tunnel vision on the fact that Kerrigan came out to spray. Specific bait there, of course, from Kerrigan. So nicely done. Chris is going to spot one and be angry he didn't have his gun out for that kill. But it's still info. However, Farley looking for a punish, and will get it eventually. Chris, on his way back, was going to stand his ground, and now this peak will also... Oh my God, how the hell did that not hit at all?
Frozen in the open. He's going to get challenged. Frozen's going to drop another player off of this hit, but it's a commitment nonetheless. Frozen doubling his kill count this round alone. And Kerrigan, of course, prepared to slip through smoke to add another to the tally. Stiko into the clutch, canceled out by Kerrigan. mousesports starting to gain a little steam.
Yeah, that is, again, by the skin of their teeth here. Look at this second trade, right? I can't believe Farley doesn't hit that shot or even do any damage, and then they just fail to put appropriate pressure on Frozen. They get really scared. They go for the Hail Mary push. They get separated from their teammates, and they just expect Frozen to miss. And Frozen, he don't miss!
It's crazy, man. You've seen Rops grab that op as of late. Now Frozen's doing his best Chris J impression. It's just Chris who needs some more op kills. Gonna find the leg shot. Good chance to maybe regain a little confidence here. He's only fighting versus the lesser pistols of GODSENT, that economy that had been racked up. Now spread so thin. Chris misses. Has BMAS by his shoulder. And a peek here from Rops down middle. Chris doubles back, wants to cancel the Valve player, but he misses another one. Now we're starting to see a bit of a glaring issue. If the other players can pick up the off shots, then maybe, well, the talent of mousesports is still enough to walk away with a win. But it does not feel like Chris is providing the op frags today. Stiko has one. 16-5 at the moment, Stiko. A ridiculous scoreline at 10 rounds deep, and he gets a third kill in this round. There's 2 CTs left. He's going to go for that flashbang. Sees Kerrigan, gets cut down. Emmy from the pit. He is able to get it to the clutch. It's Frozen on the side of the smoke, seeing his target. The bomb halfway gone. And Emmy's going to keep it cool. He drops to Frozen as mousesports find a fourth, but they are absolutely tested.
God damn, if he didn't shoot from that graveyard, Stiko was about to get that ace. That was almost the third kill in. But mousesports, again, narrowly survive. And just as you were trying to bring attention to before the action just started to become real, Chris is not on and missing a lot of shots, and this is a key performance map for him. And of course, I think in general, it's not been him on the op a lot with a lot of missed opportunities on B. Some mistakes that have not given himself a chance to hit the shots, but here on A, he's just straight up missing.
GODSENT didn't win a clutch on Mirage, but Stiko won 2 in the first 2 rounds of Inferno.
Wow. Yeah, that was a memorable couple of rounds, and Stiko has had an absolutely phenomenal showing so far in this game.
Can I ask you, Launders, what exactly are mousesports exploiting in the GODSENT T side to make this comeback this time around?
I don't think they are. I think it's just that GODSENT are failing when it comes to the executes on B. And they're right now, mousesports are just very lucky that they have a player like Frozen, for example, who is just like staying alive, opping, doing so well in that regard. Rops as well, multi-fragging. But in general, I don't think the game plan has proved too much.
A solar flare at top mid. That was a CT flashbang that blinded both of the mousesports players as they crossed mid.
I'm still giving the early game plan advantage to GODSENT. The only one round where they made GODSENT look really stupid was with the Arch setup. That was definitely a smart play. Ooh.
Molotov down at the feet of Farley. Challenge up on Banana. It's Emmy trying to keep two players busy from mousesports. They've got Kerrigan over on Arch, smoked off as he tries to find an angle beyond it, testing the waters, looking to really find them off guard. Now you see the utility going into the corner. GODSENT making sure they're not going to fall for the same setup twice.
They're picking the right side again.
Frozen has been a beast.
Oh, God. He's
at holding B, but Emmy, oh, he finds the timing. Frozen's gonna have to deliver, and he gets that first kill, but Madden's so quick to trade it. Let's see it, Chris. This is your chance. And he cuts down Zen, goes back for a second peek, and lays down the damage. It is never too late. Kerrigan, another couple kills, but it's Farley in the clutch, canceled by Chris. Welcome to the game.
Yeah, they opened it up. Nicely done by Chris with his AWP on the fallback. Every kill is instrumental. The first opening by Frozen. Emmy is mad at himself about getting that one, and they don't have a smoke to get through spawn. So instead, they've got to get through Finn. He's here with the AUG, he's spraying him down, and he's getting excited.
Another recovery, another rebound from mousesports. A chance at a potential lead. 3 rounds left to play. And Frozen, he was killed so quickly on Banana last round, you'd think that B site would crumble. It happens again. Farley on the forefront. Chris can lightning strike twice. He falls back into the site. This time it's Rops to come land a helping hand. BMAS, he's going to find Stiko. That late lurk over on the A site, not part of the equation here for GODSENT. To me, this should express GODSENT to the B site, or at least show initial bits of commitment. Smoke soon to fade. Rops decides to stay, as does Chris backside. They hold, they wait, and GODSENT, they seem like they want to go elsewhere. Walking into the Oppers, whether it's Frozen, Chris, or Kerrigan, the double sniper setups of mousesports bringing rounds back on the board, and well, BMAS just sits in pit. He already canceled out Stiko. Oh, somebody just jumped into the little pit, but he takes the player off the bomb site first. Good call. Kerrigan's gonna get called into the action. Madden takes his head off. Another fight versus BMAS that could have given him a bomb plant in that 1v3. But instead, BMAS locks it down. mousesports within 1 round, and we've only got 2 left to play.
They're really weak on the executions. They're really weak once they get out of into the sites. What they've been good at so far is picking the sites, reading the game, figuring out where is weak. But once it comes to trying to entry into B, trade into B, they get scared, they fail. They can't do the same thing on A. They've had very little success at actually getting to that point. So without that double entry on Banana, it feels like their odds slip drastically. And that's even a round where they get frozen first, which is not something that has happened very often.
First player slips by. Frozen goes down for free. Oh, this is Chris in a compromised position. He's a little bit extended, misses a second shot just as we started to see a return to form. Madden somehow kills himself.
Actual 1G, okay.
Oh, and Rops, he takes that moment. Oh, the aura of confusion. That one slip up from Madden activates 2 players from mousesports. Chris gonna go for another kill. It's Stiko in a clutch. He has plenty of time. But they're gonna dogpile this bomb site. Kerrigan, he's not quite posted. Oh, and he peeks out for the kill. Chris recovers. Does that happen without Madden self-immolating on the bomb site?
I don't even know if that was hit himself with his own HE or the Molotov, but things are starting to cool off here. mousesports just more easily winning rounds. Another very fortunate entrance where they get frozen early. The fallback plan is good, and again, GODSENT cannot plant the bomb. They can't get the second kill inside of B.
Oh, what a mystery as to how that last one fell. We don't even know what Rops saw when he blindly ran through smoke. Madden gonna find Frozen on the back line. Chris J, we've seen him in a pressured position, but this time he's... Oh, perfect timing from Chris. That is what they needed. mousesports mirroring the 7-round spree that GODSENT gave us out the gate. Who's taking the key to this final round? A 4 versus 4, and GODSENT slip back from Banana. Kerrigan's curious. He comes peeking. And Rop's just going to commit to his corner. He goes for the peek, sees 2 Ts, cuts them down. And mousesports, the absolute unthinkable, Emmy dropped. And mousesports set up shop in those final 8 rounds of the CT side. Another 8-7 half, a series too close to call.
Team making big moves, yeah, we do it so cool. This that dedication for your consideration. Gotta live it up when you work so hard. Yeah, we do it up like, oh my God. So show up, temperature keep on rising, baby, go up. And I'm giving you what you like, now baby, let's go. Baby, please don't tease, 'cause now you're here with me. Tonight we gonna see. Goddamn, girl, you doing that like a gun bang killer now. Hold up, you a vibe. Make a man spend it all in the night. So dangerous on the gram, body crazy, getting famous. And guess what? Yeah, she knows she bad. Best thing that they wish they had. So show up, temperature keep on rising, baby, go up. And I'm giving you what you like, now baby, let's go. Baby, please don't tease, 'cause now you're here with me. Tonight we gonna see. Hey, shine, show it off to the world. Shine, show it off to the world. Everybody just shine, cool off too high, too hot, too hot, too hot, too hot. Everybody just shine, cool off too high, too hot, too hot, too hot. Since that one night I seen that smile upon your face, no words to say, yeah. It's me and you forever together, and I know it's true. We gon' shine. Hey, shine, show it off to the world. Shine, show it off to the world.
Yet again, we are split down the middle. Was a 3-minute halftime break enough for GODSENT to catch their breath and catch a chance to bring back this third map? Because they have let mousesports into each of the last 3 halves. It's a second pistol for GODSENT to close that 1-round lead. Anything possible. Elimination on the line. GODSENT in the finals? That seems unthinkable. And yet, so would a win over Astralis. And Heroic. And a map over mousesports again. But Rops, he's going to kick this off. P250 to the face of Madden. Come get some.
The look to peek off again. And this will be the real test of a GODSENT here, CT side. On most maps, more comfortable. On this map, very much not the case. Farlig's got an HE to fall back on. And Emmy still has eyes pressed. Looks like they might even go for the peak. They don't know if anyone's going to be sitting logs all the time, so it looks like GODSENT are a bit concerned about getting caught off guard this early into the round. They'll make the rotation early, and Zen, I don't think he has vision. He's going to go for the precarious jump spot. But he won't see Mr. Finn, who's now walking up close.
Ooh, goes for that quick little sprint over.
I think Zen knows what's coming.
Yeah, we saw Kerrigan try to use a similar angle. There it is, USP to the face. Stico gonna hold the line. 2 kills from Pit, Frozen off the top rope. It's still a chance as that bomb is planted. Frozen and BMAS. 2 of the young stars of mousesports who have been coming into their own with killer form as of late, looking like Rop's Light. And Frozen, well, he can no longer add kills, you'd think, because he gets smoked off, but BMAS from the bomb site dies to Zen. The reload's in, and Frozen, does he have an angle? No. It's a long defuse, and Frozen yet to call him out. Frozen, he doesn't realize, GODSENT, they're going to rob this second pistol with a 10-second stick.
Oh my God, he actually pulls that play off. I can't believe he goes through with the whole thing. Frozen, he just wants to respect the smoke. Thinks no chance that's coming in. That is obviously the rarer of 2 outcomes. For someone to go for that whole stick, expecting to hear the sound again. And this is about Stico and Pit as well. What a couple of really clean kills. Carrying on his form from the first half. 19-11. Things are getting spicy. But I don't know. I'm still very hesitant here about GODSENT. It's a pistol round. It's nice. It leverages them a little bit. But I imagine this CT side is going to be even harder for them than the first half. They might have met a nice quota of rounds. But they still got a lot of proving to do.
I don't want to see GODSENT fall into that fatal error of playing too safe.
They might not have the ability. You know what I mean? It's not,
sure.
You might not have the ability. That's the thing about Inferno. We'll see if you're not confident in the amount of options you have and you don't have the amount of options that you have, then you will lose.
You know, if we give mousesports the respect of those late half comebacks, then I think our expectations, or at least mine, are set to see a strong start from GODSENT. They come in prepared. They find early success.
Yeah, let's see if Emmy can bring something new to the team.
This is excellent utility damage coming out of GODSENT. Both Kerrigan and Rops beyond the halfway point. But Arch seems like it could be compromised. It's Zen in a precarious position. He's going to take damage. He's trying to play with the incendiary, but that's going to net him nothing. B player goes down. It is all on Stico. He's going to pop up from the small pit, MP9 in hand, trying to keep himself tucked into the cover, but it just doesn't work. And mousesports, they squeeze around that A site.
Oh, yeah.
But Madden, he's going to rotate in quick. Remember, both of these players from GODSENT have been hit. They are low health. And Rops, well, he's above Emmy.
This round's a wrap. I really like this round from mousesports. I love how they left one player inside of B. So even if he takes contact, let's say you get that kill, but you're not communicating properly with everybody on the A site, then that one kill, even though you win as CTs, you're still scared of more. And you're still continuing thinking about the idea of an arch trap. So they kill player and CT spawn as well, and they're forever kind of held to the idea that the split towards B could still come. It slows rotations down a lot. Really cool idea and execution here for mousesports. They made this round look like they're coming off of a pistol win and not the opposite.
Facts. And that poor player Zen stuck behind the column.
Oh my God, what?
I was thinking to myself, how did Stico get left alone? But okay, Chris. Dude, Chris seems so hot or cold at the moment.
The life of Chris J.
In a microcosm, because sometimes it's over weeks or months. Right now, it seems round by round. Hell, even position by position. But if he was a crucial part to getting mousesports that 9th round, they take it. We'll see what GODSENT have to offer. Fomus and an MP9. And they're at least contesting the top of Banana for now. Nice grenade. Damn, dude, Kerrigan, back-to-back rounds. Just blown away by utility.
So they've done some really good damage here, but they used a few bits of utility that they have at GODSENT. They've got a couple of smokes left over, but Arch setup here means they've got fast rotations at the minimum, and they get an opening kill, and they've done it on the player they are damaging as well. Really powers up the Falmus. They'll push mousesports into the A site where the CTs still lie in wait.
Close from Zen, playing the hay bales, 5-7 up, 5-7 down. Stico now, his 21st kill by way of Deagle headshot, but it's just the sheer numbers game from mousesports to take over that A site and move themselves one round further away from GODSENT. Mouse hit double digits.
Not a bad round both ways. You know, GODSENT, they do a lot for the little bit of utility that they have. They get the kill on B. They don't over-gamble and rotate out of the site, A site. They get mousesports to run back into them, but there's still a weapons advantage to mousesports, and they come through with the fast calls. You know, really like that. Mousesports are always snappy to pick sites on T side, and I think that's one way that they stand out from most other teams who really... They try to be a bit more slick, you know, quiet about how they rotate out when they re-exec on somewhere else, really force a team back and then wait, make sure they don't come and then move. Other teams do that. Mousesports, they do a little bit here, and they assume the re-aggression is coming, and then that's when they try to hit the other site. I really like their brand of a T-side Inferno. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more scrappy, but it seems to be pretty consistent style. Should be another freebie here coming up as well.
Emmy alone on B. Trying to work that Falmus. Pistol stack on the short side of the A setup. 2 inside of the apartments, one of which with a weapon. Stico hits the P250. Zen not able to trade him. 2 kills quick for Mouse. Emmy to the top of the car will find BMAS. He takes damage in the meantime. Well, Madden, the jig is up, but he fights nonetheless. And this is one of those rounds where you'd be a fool to write GODSENT off. Madden's gotten himself into a much stronger position. Because of that kill at the top of the B site, I feel like mousesports have been somewhat deterred from turning back. But it also wouldn't be easy to move forward. Rob sees Madden still sniffing around this A site. Madden, because he's playing proactive, looks to find Chris, and he does. Now things are really interesting, but he turns his head away from Rops, and that is a fatal error. Emmy, 6 kills. 13 health, 2 players ahead of him, and he goes down at the hands of Rops, who with 3 kills this round keeps mousesports afloat. 3 rounds the difference, and they continue to put distance between them and the CT side.
They've got him guessing, got him turning around. That is a nice round here from mousesports, and they have enough players to play with to make a couple of mistakes, but they won't make any. Nice moment of timing here, and Rob's such a consistent entry fragger out of the halls. One of the hardest spots and one of his, you know, kind of most memorable spots to play. Mousesports think about A again.
So fast! Lightning quick from Kerrigan! This does still live Stico. Oh my god, the X Factor.
Okay, they got info on this one. They can afford another trade. Madden, he's got to go, but he potentially could get this kill. That's a big one. 2-on-1 situation,
winnable.
But it's the information here.
Gun out, Chris J commits to the bomb plant. BMAS gonna come up from lane, almost has his head taken off, but that's confirmation for Madden. Both these Ts are back on mid. He has the incendiary, but how does he deal with the player to wrap up into apartments? He doesn't even have a kit in this position. They lay the fire on top of the bomb.
Oh, they can delay for the rotate around. This is GG for Madden. He doesn't have an opportunity to get a kill. Imagine he just walks out of mid here and calls it a day. That's a wrap. Another well-handled round. Nice Molotov usage. There was a couple of small opportunities for Madden to get in here. But again, it's just about how good mousesports are good at getting information that they're using so damn effectively.
Chris gonna clear him. 1 player survives this 20th round. mousesports, 4 rounds the lead. They have not dropped a round since the pistol of CT side.
God damn, dude. The instant 2 headshots on the boost. They didn't think he'd just appear at mid, and that is what you've got to be worried about with mousesports. They're willing to take those risks. And Kerrigan, he's just been such a hell of an entry fragger. Yeah, mousesports have their claws in deep now. T-side game plan coming to fruition. Everything working out really, really well. We'll look for an answer from GODSENT potentially in this next round.
Kerrigan's just going to run through the fire.
Jesus.
This is the kind of gameplay that we have seen from Kerrigan in recent matches that didn't seem to work on Nuke. Remember, 26 kills out of 29 rounds. He was throwing himself at
deaths,
them.
yeah.
Excuse me, yes. And now, yet once more, last round, picking off at the top of mid. Is that a read? That nobody's going to be watching that? This round tries its hand at Banana. It is the pistols coming out from GODSENT, of course. Frag grenade from Emmy. Just a quick little love tap into Chris.
So far, full control for mousesports. They'll throw a smoke into CT spawn. No over-rotation from the pistols. Emmy not having the hottest performance was so good over on Nuke. Which is really cool to see him slot into what was mousesports' maybe one of their strongest maps already. GODSENT. GODSports. Emmy tucked in, and the execute is looming. Overstack of GODSENT here towards A. They're just going to gamble on it. Poor Emmy. He's got another thing coming.
Ooh, we'll take one with him, but we've still got Rops over on the opposite side of the map, making a vital error. Decides to jump around a little. An early celebration. But no real reason to celebrate on GODSENT's side. They've got that AK. They've got no real chance at winning this round. Maybe they take the exits. In fact, maybe they play the chance here. They are incredibly close to the bomb site, but I'm just thinking time. Without Kit, I don't think it's even possible to go for the defuse, and he just smoked his own teammate off. Zen's going to come in with 1 kill, but Farley gets canceled out by his own teammate. And again, they never had a Kit.
I don't know why they would use the AK in that situation. Maybe let your pistols lead if they don't get the kills. That's a bit risky, of course, in this situation. And mousesports will win another round. It's 8-13. GODSENT have shown nothing so far here on CT side, except for winning a pistol. Sticko's having a hell of a map on an individual level, but there's not much beyond that to allow us to believe that this game will get much closer. Here is another chance at it. They'll have full utility kit, utility belts. Sticko's invested in nothing as he decides to run down mid. This is obviously a smart play. He's not going to use this and doesn't want to waste it. And it'll open up to the entry on Kerrigan, but this guy does not lose duels.
Tons of damage. Madden, he's going to finish Kerrigan off. Kerrigan actually burns him from beyond the grave. And BMAS, he's just going to tuck back behind the logs. Emmy now sustaining damage. He drops to 39, and he can't even escape if he wanted to. BMAS with that shower of bullets through smoke. 2v4 disadvantage. GODSENT very quickly losing grip of what once was a near 2-0. But those 6 rounds in a row from mousesports on Mirage, that's going to be haunting GODSENT for weeks to come if this is how they ultimately fall. Farley, he is the front line. He's got 3 players on the other side. That late lurk from Robs elsewhere. Drop shot by BMAS, gets punished by Farley, and then Chris trades. But look at that bomb carrier, contemplating the fallback. He loses his front runner, Frozen. He's going to try to sprint away. Zen's going to give chase, and he's tucked into the corner.
Oh, that smoke
was so key.
Good.
So key.
Oh, that was a beautiful move there by Frozen. Yeah, absolutely knew he's going to get run down.
Oh, and he's going to go back to the B site.
No, they're just going around that way. They have a clean plant. Zen can keep up, so they have limited spots that they can get to. They don't know if they split up into library. Zen knows that this is a potential option. They're not playing it together, though, so 1v1 here.
100 health.
And Zen has the opportunity to come in for the clutch.
This is so big from Frozen. Let's see if he can close it. Zen up close with the AK. Flash goes high. Frozen on top of the box in the back site. GODSENT running out of chances, and another is taken away. Frozen running with smoke on his feet. Just escapes desperately from B. And Rops, of course, to constantly bail them out over on that A site. They're always so informed.
Oh, that was so beautiful, man. Frozen knowing kind of the exact timing, that he would be there. A lot of players would have just run by and taken the small risk, but he even tucks in, throws the smoke, doesn't get caught off guard, could have easily dropped the bomb and blew it for his team in that situation. And another round, just a series of tragic mistakes, getting sprayed through the smoke, getting caught out at mid, not winning their opening tactic with Sticko. Not a bad play by any means, but the fact that Kerrigan's just going to outduel you is so impressive.
Time to shine, GODSENT. Time to shut down what has been a killer T-side. And it's Farley the front runner. Oh no, poor timing. Oh, Kerrigan just absolutely dismantles him, and a double kill coming off of it. Nico inside of the pit, empty-handed. This map, this match is slowly falling apart for GODSENT, and it's been an incredible run at DreamHack Masters Winter. A best-of-3 victory over top of Astralis. A best-of-3 victory over Heroic.
They took out North, the trio of Danes. They come for mousesports, the one team that's beat them, and they look to beat them again.
The one Dane that makes a difference.
We were just recounting, especially GODSENT on Nuke, the fact that they're able to take down every good team, Heroic, mousesports, even mousesports in both of these best-of-3s on Nuke. That's an outstanding result. So much to be proud of here for GODSENT in what feels like their final map. Recounting their successes in this tournament. Emmy coming into this roster. First tournament with the team. Promising sides to begin with. But they've got some stuff to work on here.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, we've got to keep it honest. I mean, this is why Inferno could have justifiably been that second map pick. And imagine if Mirage was our decider in the same place. I mean, this would have been that incredibly close matchup to close the series. But we saw Inferno go from a map pick to a decider, and the same outcome seems likely. But it's not over yet. 7 map and match points. mousesports, they go down to the 3v5.
They tried the same tactic, but with a new piece. Instead of Sticko, they pull up Madden. And has Chris been spotted? That's a question. He's going to move up into the line of sight of 2 players after spotting the third at Arch, and now it's just a 2-on-5 situation. That's a wrap. Cool that Madden survived after getting those 2 kills as well. Peeling back. He's come in for some key moments. But yeah, nothing but good things to say. I mean, GODSENT literally have some of the best nuke records so far in this online. Oh my God, hold on.
No, don't do it to him.
Wait a second, dude.
Don't do it like this.
They just, of course, at the end of the day, just this BMAS entry round comes in. Oh, they're going to hear this too.
Oh, BMAS.
This is free for BMAS.
Oh, he's going to get the ace.
Wait a second.
Oh, I can feel it. Launders is coming. Stiko's going to go ahead and stop him in his tracks. And okay, it's GODSENT to recover. But let that just serve as a reminder that any round at any moment, mousesports have the pieces to take your round wins away from you. A 2 versus 5 attempt turned upside down on the B site. Can GODSENT at least get to the double digits? Could they push this to OT? It seems unthinkable. They would have to harness the power of mousesports and do to their opponents what was done to them.
I'll give you my jacket.
Let's hear it. Let's see it. Let's watch it unfold.
Crystal's GODSENT beat mousesports 2-0 in their last matchup.
Okay, true. Well, that's nice. Oh man, what are the maps on those? Can we send you on a mission?
Oh yeah, I love a mission. Woo! I just tripped over my cable. Sorry,
Okay.
everyone, nothing to see here.
Let's find out. That is really cool. So that's something. Well, 6 rounds, the difference. GODSENT pulled this off, almost getting 2v5 in those final moments. Said BMAS is going to ace, and it looked like he was just a centimeter from doing so. Nearly that 4th headshot in the CT spawn, and information on the last player as well.
Have your answer already? It would have been CS Summit 6 in June. CS Summit 6 Europe. Vertigo Dust 2.
Okay. I don't know. mousesports were not a team I believed in at the time, so it definitely feels like a different them. They've taken so many names just at this tournament alone.
Yeah.
Just puts them...
An incredibly successful couple of weeks for mousesports.
What did Chris say? Now that we're not playing badly?
Now we're not playing terribly.
Now we're not playing terribly. So things have perceptibly changed.
I do like that at the moment, Stiko mirrors the score of Kerrigan. That was one of those storylines. Yesterday, when Kerrigan got his knife versus Woxic to close the match, Stiko posts a sweating SpongeBob Says, please, not me.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So far, mousesports have made GODSENT incredibly uncomfortable. That's why we're just seeing all the wrong peaks and all these awkward engagements. Here is a good fight for Farley. Oh, and a multi-frag. He takes some damage in the process, but here's another unanswered entry. Or denial of the entry, I should say. 3-on-5 situation. mousesports nearly dug himself out of something similar. Farley's going to fall back as Madden on the other side of the map will catch a lurk. And Farley from the top of the wood pallet. Or make it a third. No, Chris will finally find something.
Still 2 CTs to take off of the A site. Rops could arguably do it on his own, but he does still have Chris to support. Molotov at the feet of Stiko, dodges the flashbang. It's Chris J to trade. Rops goes down. Zen pops the noggin of Chris, and it's GODSENT with a 10th.
Get to a more respectable scoreline here after winning a pistol and then finally putting 2 rounds together. What it took was a heroic play from Madden, the double kill on the pushdown mid. An unanswered frag here on the hold from Farley. My main concern is that there's not a lot of nades. There's not a lot of outplays. It's just out-dueling.
Frag grenade as Madden gets hyper-aggressive. Frozen. Well, he gets 1 kill. Rops then with that AK. What is this from GODSENT?
They ran it down, and they expected they had the mollies down as well. But they took a look. I think they might have had a slight misread on the economy. I'm actually surprised that mousesports didn't invest fully in this round. I thought also they had enough coming into it, but it looks like they've just evened out with some AK purchases, but not full guns.
This is one of those that kind of stops your heartbeat for a second if you're GODSENT. You're thinking there's still a chance. You know they have to tell themselves to believe in this comeback. But then suddenly, you are snapped back to reality. 3 versus 3. Minute on the clock, 5 match points still to play. Stiko, 103 ADR. He has been a crucial piece to the CT side, and he gets executed. That is 3 rifles in the hands of mousesports. Then he's going to line up 1, but if Farley can't clutch this, then mousesports do send GODSENT sailing into elimination. They've got that bomb planted over on the oranges. It feels like the world is on Farley's shoulders at the moment, but what an incredible run it's been for these 5 players of GODSENT. Their first showing as a team, and they show superb potential, but he has no information as to the positions of mousesports. They silently fall under the floorboards, and they look to rob away this 16th round. Farley's going to get aggressive, but he turns his back to Chris, and mousesports complete the reverse sweep in this series. They've done it to them twice. Nuke is still the takeaway, though. An impressive showing from GODSENT despite their elimination.
Yes. They had pretty much full control at the end there. I'm sure they weren't too nervous when it came down to it, but a nice attempt from GODSENT nonetheless.
And when it's come down to it, Mouse have booked their spot in the grand final, and we'll be talking to them after this break. Seven rounds down on Inferno, Mouse suddenly knew the score, barely dropping around on their comeback to book themselves their rightful place in tomorrow's grand finals. In fact, their T side was so fast, ferocious, and furious that GODSENT could barely get a look in. And yet GODSENT, their individuals had some stellar moments, but their Inferno, it looked a bit shaky, especially those executes, Launders.
Yeah, the executes were really solid. They were just gaming all of the rotations there, and it felt like they could do no wrong, especially near the end of it.
Does anyone? I just was distracted just there by
the
Chris
cup?
J.
Yeah, me too. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Second, hopefully maybe someone in production can tell us what the hell that means. And talking of Chris J, he did take a while to get warmed up in that series, but it seemed like when they moved him, when they swapped Carrigan, once Carrigan got the AWP, they swapped Carrigan over to B and Chris J over to B, Carrigan over to A, and suddenly Chris J went into combat mode.
He had a few better rounds, right? A few better moments, but I mean, we just have to address it. There was a lot of missed shots from Chris J in this series, and that's something that we haven't seen from him lately. His form was looking fantastic. Today was a bit of a stutter, but luckily the talent on mousesports can recover from that lack of op, right? We saw Frozen and Rops with it more often, I would argue.
Well, we should talk to Rops right now because he is in our finalist team at mousesports. Rops, congratulations. I hope you're relieved after that one. And first of all, do you feel like it was the right pick to go for Mirage today?
Oh yeah, I definitely think it was the right pick. I think it was like a completely punished pick for us, and we were really confident in our Mirage today, and it didn't start out so well, but we got a lucky round with Ari made some amazing shots on ramp, and we came back.
Just jumping in though, if BMAS hadn't got that 4K, do you think you would have taken Mirage? Because it looked like they were more prepared for you than you expected.
Well, their chances would have risen for sure, yeah. But there still would have been an opportunity for a comeback. But I'm glad we took it in that moment.
Rops, you have been always really, really consistent, but now your team is a lot more consistent across individuals. How have you inspired them?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I don't play FPL myself, and I know that BMAS quit FPL now. So I think it's a thing with like bad habits. You play FPL, you pick up bad habits, and then it shows in your matches. But I know that he quit. I know that the other guys are putting in a lot of hours, like I do. And I mean, I'm really happy to be actually an inspiration for them, since this just feels amazing.
Well, the consistency of all your teammates has been rising lately, but today we saw something we haven't for a while, and that was Chris J missing a few shots, missing a few chances to hold the line. Can you tell us, like, what did it feel like to play with him today? Did he seem a little down? Did he seem out of it? Was the confidence lacking?
I mean, if Chris misses, then like it's fine. Like we all know that he should have hit the shot, so it's just kind of like unlucky. Like if he hits those shots, we probably win even more dominance. So it's just a bad day for him maybe in the beginning, but he tuned it up in the end, and I think that's all that matters. And it's just unlucky in the start.
Rops, as you're already confirmed for the finals, I've got to ask you your prediction for our second semi-final. Furia, Astralis. Who do you think you're going to be seeing in the grand final tomorrow?
Yeah, an easy pick would be Astralis, but I'm really looking forward to the match. I mean, Furia and Astralis, they haven't played each other, I think, in a long time. I saw a comment, so it's going to be a very fantastic matchup. Can't wait to see how Furia play against Astralis and what they have in mind, and I think it's going to be very amazing to watch.
Well, I hope you got your popcorn handy. Thank you so much, Rops, and congratulations to you and mousesports.
Thank you very much.
Well, Rops is going to be watching our grand finals next, but are you? Because we've got to take a short break, and when we come back, it is going to be Furia versus Astralis.